Welcome to Compound Insights, a podcast by CFA Society New York. I'm your host, Rob Rowan. Today we're talking about how one person has benefited from his CFA charter. I hope it will help other CFA charter holders to think about their benefits and to give those on the path to their charters to stay on it. JP Carreto Chapa, CFA, is an executive director in global derivative solutions at JP Morgan. Previously, he was part of the firm's Mexico Investment Solutions team. Before that, he worked in FI and derivatives at Grupo Bursátil Mexicano. Juan Pablo got his BA from Universidad Panamérica, and he is a CFA charter holder. So welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Rob. Glad to be here.
Let's just start off with the rather obvious, your experiences during your CFA charter path. Almost everyone has a funny story, so why don't we start there?
Fantastic. Thank you. Yes, well, funny stories. Well, let me start by saying that I approached the program with a lot of passion. Like I wanted to achieve a goal.
Where did that passion that you had for financial services come from? Did you experience that when you were in school beforehand, or how did that start?
A passion for finance started when doing actually GFC.
Okay.
My dad used to be a financial advisor in Mexico.
Uh-huh.
And I used to have lunch every Wednesday or every Tuesday back then. I was, high school or my secondary school, what you would call eighth grade,
right,
or something.
Right.
So I would come back home with my dad, and I would ask, what's going on with the markets? Like, I see that you are under stress, and financial markets are, tumbling. Interest rates have gone up first, but then down. What's going on? Explain a little bit. So it was these weekly conversations with my dad that really got me into the dynamics of the market and what had happened, particularly in 2008 and 2009.
Okay.
So I switched from wanting to study law to study finance.
Wow. Okay.
So I started getting involved with financial markets and tracking, Dow Jones, S&P 500, interest rate, the Bolsa Mexicana de Valores back then,
Yep.
right? And I wanted to, really focused on finance at that point. Finance, but specifically markets. So I started studying economics, which I found to be, a very long road to financial markets.
Most people do.
So I switched to finance and management at Universidad Panamericana, like you said. But after graduating, I found that yes, my major, right, was it was a very in-depth career and in-depth collection of subjects. I wanted a little bit more, and my teacher back then suggested me, hey, why don't you explore the CFA?
Okay.
And I was like, 4 more years, really? I was prepared to do a master's or something, but.
Right.
He started sharing with me what was the CFA all about. And was like, that sounds pretty much what I want to be doing or want to be learning now, right? To be part of a trading desk.
Okay.
Right? It's financial markets, but starting with financial mathematics, right? Statistics.
Yep.
So you go all the way to equity, derivatives, corporate finance, etc. So I guess this is what I need, right? And I figured out back then in my previous job that nobody had it.
Right.
So but not only that most tasks in the job you had to learn like by doing, not. And many people back then used to be, okay, I've been doing this for 5, 10, 15 years, whatever. So I started like looking for this challenge, right? And I saw the traders in the different departments of my previous job, and I said I wanted to do something like that. So I started my day started at 6 a.m. and ended maybe by 4 p.m. I was in a trading desk.
Right.
So I started focusing the back half of my day, right, to study the CFA.
Okay.
Right. So I incorporated the curriculum like 2-3 hours a day, right, for level 1, right, and started enriching my knowledge. But the cool thing about this one is I used to study by night. next day I would come to the office, right, and kind of apply what I learned the previous night. So it was amazing because I started adding value like quite quickly.
Right.
Building my calculators or building a valuation model or maybe to some degree not teaching, but sharing with my boss, my manager, former manager back then, and my colleagues, hey, if we build a Black-Scholes model, and well, I learned this in my book, which is the curriculum of the CFA.
Yeah.
And that started like resonated with my manager, resonated with my boss. And it's not that, okay, it's not that they would tell me, okay, focus on that and tell us more. It was more like I started doing, then showing them, hey, how about we implement something like this in the desk? Right. And it was cool.
That is, I mean, I've talked to a lot of people who got something valuable out of level 1, but no one who's ever had that type of applicability to anything. Right? Because, in the US, you specialize relatively quickly. So realistically, when you get to level 1, your area is maybe only a relatively small portion of the curriculum.
Right.
Right. So, and you sort of study through the other things, but that is wild. So, did you have any other experiences along the way that made it resonate like that?
Well, obviously I back then I was in a relationship, which I had to interrupt, right? Because I mean, sadly I failed level 1, my first attempt.
Oh, right.
And I had to kind of rethink my whole strategy. And I said, like, if you really want this, you need to commit, right? And you really need to dedicate the hours,
right,
towards this goal, right? And it's not that I didn't do the hours or anything. You and I have spoken in other forums what really happened back then.
Yeah.
But in this case, I wanted to focus fully in my journey, in my CFA program journey, and I ended my relationship. Right at that point.
Right.
I'm happy to report, as I said in back then, Rob, that I got married to this lady.
So it worked out okay in the end.
Exactly. Yeah. So it was, let's say, it was an investment. Right.
Right.
So it went well.
Yeah. And so, well, other than that rather large thing, how do you think that your CFA preparation experience has impacted you since then? Other than getting married.
Well, definitely. Definitely. Well, like I said, Rob, my CFA journey, like the whole thing, without a doubt has been one of my, the best investment that I've made, educationally, like commitment-wise, etc. Because it's added value to me as a person, as a professional. Mm-hmm. But not only that, it's added value to the firms I've been part of, my teams, my colleagues, etc. I mean, without a doubt, I think it was one of the differentiators for one of my managers to hire me at some point.
Right.
Right. I think having the CFA has definitely kind of stands out for itself. Right, and it's taken by employers like a gold standard.
Right. So, well, that manager who hired you in part because of the CFA, did that person also have CFA charter?
He didn't.
Okay.
He didn't.
All right.
But it was he assigned a lot of value to people that were pursuing a learning process or career advancement, and you look for these opportunities. If it's a CFA certification, a master's degree, a doctorate degree, an MBA, whatever, it speaks highly of that person that it's aiming for more, and it's willing to commit to the endeavor, right? In this particular case, and obviously if you're focused on financial industry, if you're doing the CFA, well, that's a certification in itself made for this particular industry, right? So, yeah, I mean, he liked what I was doing. He liked that, I mean, you engage in this solo trip, right? And this solo process.
Right.
And
and utterly optional.
Optional when you can be maybe doing something else when you're in your early 20s.
There are a lot of other things to do in your early 20s.
Yes.
um, do you think a lot of employers look at CFA charter holders that way?
I think they do, or they do, and increasingly more are joining this side of the conversation because it does speak about the professional and the commitment that you are, the investment you've done in a certification like this. Not only the technical skills that you gain by studying the curriculum, which is pretty vast, right? But you also want professionals that join your ranks, that join your teams, that are dedicated, that are able to commit for a prolonged period of time in projects, that are comfortable, with deadlines, that are comfortable learning stuff on their own, right?
Right. My old boss used to describe it as a documentation of grit. you could stick with stuff.
I like that one. I like that one.
Now that so when did you actually earn your charter?
2017.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is a good question for you because it's been a few years now. Do you think that the knowledge gets stale over time?
I wouldn't say stale. I mean, I still use most or a very good portion of the knowledge that I acquired through those books in my day job today. And it's been 7 years since the certification.
Yeah.
But it's been almost 10 since I started with with this. So I'm again happy to report that I've used these tools extensively. And I would recognize that the industry itself has changed too, right? And more than the material being stale, right? Because I do know that the CFA Institute does enriching the program in a ever-changing industry, you're enriching the program with what's new, what's happening, what's coming, right?
Yeah, there are always changes, and they did add the learning pathways to level 3. Yeah, so that just happened a couple months ago. So it's moving. It's moving for sure.
So it's not that it's stale, and I would kind of turn around that answer as well, because also it's the professional's responsibility to keep a learning path and keep one up to date, right?
Yes, podcast get listeners. I just want to point out that the guest said that, not the guy who works at CFA New York that benefits from the sales of those kinds of ongoing learning experiences. That was not me. So.
I do have kind of this conversation with my wife, with friends, with colleagues that, okay, you're an adult, but now what? Well, there's a lot to be doing here, especially if you're passionate about your job and what you're doing and where you're adding value, right? So you're a person. I think of a person. I think about myself as a work in progress.
Always, yeah.
So it's kind of my responsibility of keep adding tools to my toolkit to enrich in my experience, right? And if I can share those with my team, share those with my clients, share those with my firm, well, a person becomes more valuable to the market to some degree.
Yeah.
Right. And this is kind of life, right? So you wanna have a good experience and make those around you have a good experience as well. So
it is the very essence of life. I couldn't think of a better place to leave it. That is a great place. So thank you, JP, for being on the podcast.
Oh, thank you, Rob.
Just before you go, listeners, I do want to point out that, as JP just talked about a little bit, a key benefit to the charter is the network of other charter holders that you can build here at our events. And there is probably no better event for that networking than CFA New York's October 24th annual celebration, because it's basically just networking. So if you're a member, please sign up at our website. I think we're going to close it, so please sign up soon. Until next time, I'm Rob Rowan, and this has been Compound Insights.